Alright, welcome back to SnowRunner, everybody. So, starting the game, I don't know, I didn't load the game without the mods browser being loaded. Like, I made sure everything was fine, but when I joined the game, my trailer was gone, so that sucks, so now I gotta go buy another one. Oh, it's just my luck. I think it's gonna be better to just go that way than try and go back that way, because that way just took forever. I had to refuel this, so we brought that all the way over here, and it took 20 minutes to drive over here. But now, instead of just going back to the log station, I have to go all the way back to the trailer store and buy a new trailer. Which, granted, I can just go to the trailer store over here, I guess, but like, it's just so annoying. I mean, I guess it's kind of what I get for using a modded trailer in hard mode, but I don't know. At least that trailer only costs $4,800, so it's not like it's a huge loss, but it just sucks that I have to buy another one now. The only reason I'm using that mod in hard mode is just because the trailers are just so much cheaper and they're just more practical. I just prefer to use semi-trailers for logs over the stupid trailers the game has in like the vanilla trailers. Even though they're adding better logging trailers, I still don't like them, and they're still just too damn expensive, man. The trailer price for hard mode is the biggest crutch that hard mode has. Like, it's really, really dumb that you can't. I think you should at least be able to sell the trailers for like a quarter cost. Like, I think that should be the baseline hard mode. Not being able to sell trailers at all really sucks. Or like, you should at least be able to sell trailers that you bought yourself back for a quarter cost or half cost, whatever. I think a quarter cost is fair. Half cost might be a little too lenient. But like, I understand not being able to sell trailers that are just on the map. Like, that is fine. Keep those unsellable. Tag them somehow. I'm sure it's possible in coding to tag a trailer that's not purchased by the player, that can't be sold. They already do it with mission trailers, so it's not like it can't be done. Just tag them all as mission trailers if it's a trailer that's just on the map, and then they can't be sold, and you can't just profit off of it by cleaning up trailers around the map. Like, I totally understand why they put that in, like why you can't sell trailers, because there's a lot of maps that have just tons of trailers all over it, so you wouldn't have to buy any, and then you could just go around and sell them all and make a bunch of money. So I get it, I really do. But make those unsellable, and just make the ones that you can purchase yourself sellable for like a quarter of the price. And I think that would be the most fair thing. Because like, in real life, like, if you buy a trailer, you can sell that trailer. There's nothing keeping you from selling a used trailer. Like, I don't know, it's just frustrating. And I have another episode that I haven't actually. I mean, by the time you see this episode, that episode will be up, because it is technically the episode before this one. But I haven't posted it. I actually posted both of them kind of late. I had them both recorded last Monday, and I had a lot of stuff going on that day, and I had this like crazy thought that I made a phone call while my mic was like unmuted. Because like, I had to call and make an eye doctor appointment. I had to call my child's school because his teacher was telling me there was an issue that he wasn't fully registered, and I didn't understand why, because I had done all of that like over a month and a half ago, and they told me he was all good to go, like at the office. So like, I don't know what she was talking about, but I had made that phone call, and like, of course I said like my full name, I said my son's full name, and like, I had this moment of panic that like I did that while I was recording the video. And so I literally watched both videos, and they were both like an hour long, or at least 50 minutes long. So it was like 2 hours of my time that I sat watching them to make sure I didn't say that. But at the end of the episode before this one, which some of it's still going to be in there, I was just getting so frustrated with this logging and these trucks and the trees, and I had to mute some of it, because I mean, I was just like, I was not happy, and no one needs to be subjected to that. So I muted some of it. So there's a couple parts in the end of the previous episode that were just muted entirely, And if, unfortunately, because of the way I record my videos on the PlayStation, my mic, like my mic audio track and the audio track of the game are just embedded together. Like, it's not a separate track. It really kind of sucks that it isn't. I kind of wish it did work that way, considering the PlayStation lets you record your voice, or record your voice with a microphone while you're recording. Like, it would make sense if it just split the audio, so you have your audio track and your video track, but unfortunately it doesn't work that way. So I can't just like mute my microphone at that point. I wish I could, but I can't. So there's no audio at all for a couple seconds, a couple points in the end of the video. But I mean, obviously it does come back. There's still a point of me just like ranting. I don't know why I went to this. It doesn't really matter. Either trailer store is like the same distance. But like I don't know. I don't want to not post the video because I did a lot in that video. It's just I was a little frustrated at the end of it, and I don't know that people really want to listen to that because I was kind of whining like a little bitch. I mean, I'll say it. So I don't know. At the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not that serious about any of this. I just do this because I think it's fun, and I don't know. Some people like to watch my videos, I guess, so I like to keep posting them. Alright, so we're gonna buy this stupid ass trailer again because the game lost it, which really sucks because, you know, it's just money I don't want to spend, but it just is what it is. I might just go straight to Island Lake too at this point because I need the L2M. See, they're not even in here. That's why. Okay, hold on a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I had to go out of the game and enable and disable and enable the mod. So that's why. So I'm gonna just do that every time now because I don't want to keep losing these trailers. It's too expensive. I mean, that, you know, we were up to 100,000 and we're back down to 82. Like, it really pisses me off. So that's what happened. So I'm gonna just make sure whenever I load this save file now that I always uncheck and recheck Olsom's trailer mod so I don't lose my trailers because that sucks. All right, so I think I can get medium logs on Island Lake, and Island Lake is where we need to be. Yeah, I can. So yeah, I think it's just smart to just go straight to Island Lake and just do that. So that's what I'm gonna do. Best way to go. I hate taking a logging trailer through that way over there, but this is a semi-trailer, so it shouldn't be that bad. We might as well just go this way. Alright, so the goal for this episode here obviously is to finish this contract. Whoops, what am I doing? And then there's one more, which is just all medium logs, and it's all on Drummond Island. And Drummond Island, I believe, has its own medium logs. No, Drummond Island just has long logs. But I may just use Island Lake's medium logs for that anyway. Because, you know, I think that's probably the easier route. Island Lake's not terrible to drive around, especially in this truck. I hate this map. Smithville is like my least favorite of the three. I just feel like there's a lot of really tricky paths on this map, and there's a lot of mud on this map. And it's frustrating. Island Lake can be frustrating, but if you stay on the path and you have a decent truck with all-wheel drive, you shouldn't have any issues. Like this White Western Star doesn't have any problems there. I'm just gonna refuel up. I mean, I guess I could try going down this path here, but I think we're just gonna stick to the main path here. The only problem is there's this one part on this part, and I'll call it out when I get to it. I know I've mentioned it before in other videos, but there's this one part of this route here where it's tight and the path like banks you to the left, like it's cambered, and your truck leans real hard to the left, and there's a tree and it's a real tight pinch point. And when you take a logging trailer with these stupid ass, you know, vertical metal things sticking up in the air, it just like perfectly catches the tree and you get stuck, and it is so annoying. It happens a lot with the stupid logging trailers, but with this being a semi-trailer, I should be able to keep it from tipping into it, because like the logging trailer is just on the hitch, so like when it tips it has a little bit more movement, whereas this isn't really going to tip much more than what the truck is tipping because of how it attaches. I mean, it does a little bit, but it's not nearly as bad as a like hitched trailer is. Alright, clearly I need diff lock. I probably should just turn that on, because this is a bit of a... This isn't the easiest path. The only other option was driving down the road, going around over the dam, and then along the swamp, and I don't like going that way either. I don't know, I don't like this map, straight up. Smithville is one of my least favorite, or it is my least favorite map for Michigan, for sure. Definitely not my least favorite map overall, but for Michigan, this one's my least favorite. Black River's not too hard to get around. There's a lot of asphalt roads. I mean, this has a lot of asphalt roads too, but this just has a lot of places you can get stuck. Like this. Like, why are we not moving at all? What am I stuck on? I mean, I could go down here. I've done that before. I don't know if I would do that in hard mode, but if I could get down that hill, I could go across there. And then that would make it a little bit easier, but we're just gonna go here. All right, right here is this spot. So this tree, that one evergreen tree right there, is what catches your trailer. But if I stay up here, it should be okay. As long as I don't fall down into that little crevice. But that's what always happens with the trailer. It falls in that crevice and it gets caught on that tree, and it is such a bitch to get free. I still have to take 2 long log loads to Island Lake. Shit. Are there long logs here? No, there's not. The only long logs are Drummond Island, and which we'll probably use the Drummond Island long logs for Island Lake. And then I'll just have to go back to Black River and get that load for Norton's, because the P16 I believe is at the drilling site right now, which isn't terrible because my scout truck with my fuel is right there nearby, so I can go refuel that first. I don't know, we may not get timber at arm's reach done this episode, and I am only recording this one episode today because I'll be honest, I'm not really feeling it, and I want to get my house clean. My house has just been a disaster. I just can't keep up with it lately. I don't know what the problem is. Children are also just like, it's like a tornado goes through the house every freaking time they're home. It's unreal. But I will, either way, I have 2 episodes that will be going up, because I'll get that other one scheduled and posted, and then actually it should be posted as of recording this today, but it may not go until tomorrow. We'll see. Depends on when I get it done. If I can get it done before noon, then I'll have it go live, but I don't think I will. So but we're so close to being done with Michigan. And I really can't wait. I know Alaska can be a pain in the ass, but as far as snow map goes, as far as the snow maps go, Alaska's not that hard. Alaska just has a lot of icy roads, which is really kind of like what teaches you to use chains. But like, I don't ever use chains because I don't think it's just not, they don't work as good when you're in the mud, and they're just not worth using just for the short time you drive around on the asphalt. Which there is a lot of asphalt in Alaska, but I don't know. I don't ever use chain tires. Almost never. I know they have their uses and all, but I just think it's silly to make a mechanic in the game like this, where it almost like implies you're supposed to use, like, have different trucks set up along your route. So like when you get to the end of like the asphalt part and you're on like a real muddy section, you have a truck that you transfer your cargo to at that point, and then, you know, drive that truck through the mud, and you leave the truck with the chains on the asphalt. Like, I don't know, that just, I know people play that way, but that is not the way that I want to play the game. I don't have a whole lot of time to play games as it is, so especially like days like this where I'm off, I'm the only one home, like that's the time that I have to like myself to play games. And I don't always just want to record and do that either, because, you know, recording videos takes, it's not like it's a difficult thing to do, but it takes effort. Like, I need to, you know, be in the mood to talk. I need to, there's a lot that goes into it. There are some times where I don't really want to do it. I don't really want to record a video, and I don't, because it's not going to be a good video if I don't want to do it. Which I kind of feel like that's what was happening at the end of the previous episode. I was just done. I didn't want to do it anymore. The logging was just getting to me. And I was just like, I snapped basically, and I couldn't handle it, and I kept getting stuck. A freaking tree branch. I was stuck on a stupid tree branch from one of these trees when I was trying to take one of these loads of medium logs up to that. I forget whose house it is, but it's the one that's like up here. This house up in this area. Or it's over there, whatever. That house that's up there. I kept getting stuck on this tree. I couldn't get free. It was annoying. I needed to mow. Well, I thought about mowing my grass today. It's not terrible. It hasn't really rained a whole lot here for the past 2 weeks, so grass hasn't really grown. But it looks like it's gonna rain today, so we just have to wait till. I'm off during the day on Thursday, and then I'm off Friday as well because I work this Saturday again. And that water flow in there looks really good. It's cool how it's like still right here, but it's flowing right there. And this game has always looked, I mean, the graphics aren't amazing. Like the trees kind of look like shit, but for the most part, SnowRunner has always looked really good. The trucks have always looked really good. The water has always looked really good. Even things like the mud and stuff, the terrain deforming has always looked really good. I think so, at least. But there are things that definitely don't look great, and I know a lot of it just comes down to limitations of the console. Even though the PS5 is pretty powerful for the most part. I mean, this game's gonna look better on PC, obviously, but like you can just tell, like the trees kind of like pop in their texture. Like the further away the trees are, the less texture they have, and that's just, I know that's just to save on resources and like RAM and stuff like that, but even still, like when you get up close, the trees still don't look great. But Roadcraft actually looks really good. Roadcraft is a very, very pretty game, which I need to get back to that too, which I will eventually. Same thing with Expeditions, I just haven't. I mean, like I said, there were so many games that came out in these last couple months that like I've been waiting for, so I just kind of been jumping around. I finished Death Stranding. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. I mean, I just finished it the other night, so I guess I wouldn't have. But yeah, I finished the story of Death Stranding. I still have, you know, a lot to do trophy-wise, but I did finish the story. That I did call a key point in the game. I called that way early, so that was cool that I was right about that. And then, all right, I need a winch from the back because but yeah, I was right about a pretty big thing in the game. I was pretty happy about that. And then the game definitely made me tear up at the end. It was I was not expecting that to happen. So that was you know, Kojima has quite the vision and mind for storytelling like that. It's pretty wild. That was a really good story, just same as Death Stranding 1, like, incredible story. The ending to Death Stranding 1 is awesome too. Like, it's just amazing that someone like that can come up with that in their head and create a game out of it too. Is just wild. I don't know, if you've never played Death Stranding, I cannot, like, the game is weird. I will give you that. I fully agree. Like, my wife has watched me play some of it. She calls it the baby game, which that's what my kids call it too. But like, it is weird. Like, I fully understand that it's weird, and there's a lot of just weird stuff in it too. Like, just weird things that happen during the game, like during cutscenes. You're like, what is going on? Like, it's so strange. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, so I'm not gonna say anything. But there are just parts that the, like, at the towards the end of the game, you're on like a beach basically. And by like saying on a beach, I mean like you're in like this, the beach in Death Stranding, from my understanding, and I could be wrong here, but my understanding of the beach is like the point between, like the limbo between like life and like death or the afterlife. Like when you die, you go to the beach, and if you pass on, you leave the beach, but if you don't pass on, you're like stuck on the beach. Like, that's kind of the concept I think it is. But anyway, you're like on the beach with this guy, and I'm not gonna say who because I don't want to think, but I'm not gonna spoil anything, so don't worry. But you're on the beach, and like this other character comes in, and you're like, what are they doing here? And then like it just gets ridiculous, and it's like, what in the world is happening? But I don't know, it's a really good game. If you've never played Death Stranding, I could not recommend it enough. Like, give it a chance. Don't, like, because people call it a walking simulator or like an Amazon delivery simulator, like, give it a chance, because you do a lot of walking, especially in the first game. In the beginning, you don't get a vehicle until like pretty far into the game. In Death Stranding 2, you get access to trucks almost immediately, so like it's not as bad, but there is a lot of walking, and it's a lot I mean, it's a lot like this game. If you like SnowRunner, I guarantee you'll like Death Stranding, because it's basically SnowRunner, but like you know, on your feet, and then there are also trucks and things, and then there's zip lines. There's all kinds of ways you can deliver the cargo, but it is a very, very fun game, and the game looks incredible. The graphics are amazing. Like, the voice acting is amazing. Everything, like, there's just nothing bad about the game. There's literally nothing I don't like. Well, that's not true. There's definitely something I don't like, but I don't know. The game just everything that is in the game just makes sense and it works, and like it's just neat. And like some of the things that they've added is just it's really, really cool. It is a very, very unique game, and I really hope they keep making them or like expanding off of it, because I think it's really, really cool. Like, I really love the whole concept. I think it's just a really neat thing. And I mean, he's made 2 games and they've both been like praised beyond belief at this point. Like, when Death Stranding 1 came out, people were like, what is this game? But then when people actually played it and finished it, they were like, wow, that was like a masterpiece. And I mean, I feel the same way about, I don't mean to keep pausing. I'm just like, that's, oh, I don't want to go this way. Options is the map on Death Stranding, so that's why I keep pushing options and pausing the game. But yeah, it's just like Death Stranding is, including both. I was just talking about this with one of my coworkers the other day. When I talk about like my top 5 favorite games, I include like The Last of Us Part 1 and 2. I just include them as one, and then like same thing with Death Stranding. Like Death Stranding 1 and 2, I would just include them as like one game. So like they're both like The Last of Us, you know, including both games, and Death Stranding, both games. They're both in my top, probably 1 and 2. I would say Last of Us is number 1 because it's going to take a lot to beat that story for me. But the story in Death Stranding is just as incredible. It's honestly kind of similar in a sense, because like Sam in the first game, Sam, you know, kind of gets really attached to the BB that he has in his little BB container. But anyway, if you've never played the first one, I won't go into that. But I don't know, it's incredible. And the thing that I think is funny is like, I mean, I could probably go through and list off like my top 5 games, but like I'm not gonna do that. But like, I can tell you, and I know this causes a lot of controversy, but Ghost of Tsushima is not even in my top 10. Top 15 maybe, but it's not even in my top 10. And the reason for that is not because like the game's beautiful, the graphics are incredible, absolutely incredible, the combat is great, I loved it, thought it was fun. And the story was okay. I didn't think the story was like game breaking, or, you know, it was okay. It was a good story, but I wasn't like blown away by it. And then the thing that I think bothered me the most about it is because, you know, I'm a big time trophy hunter. I like to get platinum trophies. I like to try to complete a game, at least trophy list, 100%. I don't always complete games 100% if there's no need to. Like unless there's a trophy that is like complete the game to 100%, that is the only way I will do that. I don't usually do that unless I really like the game, like SnowRunner. But yeah, it's not something I usually do. Once I get all the trophies, usually I don't play that game anymore. Now, that's not totally true with games like The Last of Us. I have played those games multiple times even after getting all the trophies. I have to actually play Part 2 again now because they added chronological mode or something, so you can play the game in like chronological order as to how it would be happening. So there's a lot of like switching back and forth between Abby and Ellie during their days, which I think is neat, but there's a whole trophy for completing the game that way, so I'll have to do that at some point. That may just be something I work on like my Portal every now and then. Okay, so I guess I should just turn around and go that way. Or no, I need to go to the sawmill. So either way, I just need to turn around. But yeah, like the thing with Ghost of Tsushima is it just the side missions, because you know you had to do a lot of stuff in that game to get all the trophies, at least for the. I don't have 100% trophies in that game, and that's another reason why it annoys me, because they added that Legends mode, which is like co-op online, and it's just not. I don't enjoy playing games with other people. I genuinely don't. I mean, I'll occasionally play games, and it's very rare. I'll occasionally play games with friends. Like I had a friend that we would play Grounded. We played Grounded for a good while, like a couple nights a week, but we've kind of fallen off of that. But we're both busy, so it's fine. But like I don't know. I'm a big solo gamer. I don't really like playing games against other people. I don't really like playing games with other people. I just like to chill by myself and play games. And I know that's a weird concept for some people, but that's just the truth. And so like they added that mode, and I know you can do it solo. I think you can. But it's apparently really hard to, and I don't have anyone I know that plays that game, and I don't want to do it with a random just for the trophies. I had to do that shit for Assassin's Creed, like Black Flag, and I just, ugh. The Black Flag multiplayer, awful. But anyway, so that's my main reasoning on why I don't think it's like this fantastic game, because I think a lot of the side content was just repetitive as hell. It was all the same shit. You would go find someone and like, oh, I lost my wife, please go find her, and then you go there and she's dead, and you go back and you're like, oh, sorry, the Mongols killed her. There's nothing I could do, but here's this. And it's the same shit. Like, you'll find another person, and they're like, oh, they took my son, please go find him. And then you go there, and the son's dead. Like, there's nothing. Like, it's just weird. Like, it was very, very repetitive. And I just kind of didn't really like that. But I know there's tons of people that disagree with me. Every time I say that on Reddit somewhere when Ghost of Tsushima comes up, I get downvoted. And I just don't care, because it's my opinion, and everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And listen, I don't like if it's someone's favorite game, I'm not gonna like, you know, dog them for not. I'm not gonna like make fun of them and be like, wow, that's your favorite game. Like, there's so many better games out there. But I understand why it's people's favorite game. It's a great game. It's beautiful. The story is good. It's, you know, it's a fun game. I just found it very repetitive, and I don't know, I didn't really enjoy it as much as other people do. So that's my 2 cents on that. But definitely Death Stranding is in my top 5. I would say it's my number 2 confirmed. I don't know what my number 3 would be. Number 1 is definitely the Last of Us series. Number 2 is definitely Death Stranding games. And like I said, I'm including them just together because they're both just so good. I don't know what my 3 would be. I think the Spider-Man games are fun, but again, I kind of look at it as like Ghost of Tsushima. Like, they get really repetitive too, and it gets kind of tiring, especially going for all the trophies. But I have platinumed all 3 of those, so you know, I do enjoy those games. Actually, I need to play 2 again and do New Game Plus. I just haven't done that either. That came out like right after I had finished it the first time, and I just wasn't in the mood to do it all over again. Because like Spider-Man 2 is a long game, and I just wasn't really in the mood. Why are we going so slow? Whoops. What would be the better way to go? This way. I do need to remember that I have a 7-minute-ish, 7-8 minute clip that I need to add to this, so I can't go overtime, basically. Which doesn't matter for you, you would have already seen that clip, but, you know, because it was whenever I had to stop recording and go back to the main menu and refresh the mod browser so that I could get this trailer again. If you're new here, or whatever, I don't know why you would just be tuning in now and be like, what is that trailer? You're in hard mode. Yes, I'm in hard mode. Yes, this is a modded trailer. And no, I do not care if you think that's cheating. So, it is what it is. But I hate the logging trailers that are in the game. These are so much better. They're semi-trailers. I can do 2 loads of medium logs. It only costs $4,800 instead of like $15,000. And I don't give a shit because it's my game and it just makes logging slightly more enjoyable because logging is the absolute worst in this game. And I think anyone would agree with me on that. But again, this is the only mod I'm using. It does not add anything else to the game other than it just makes logging a little bit easier. And the trailers are cheaper considering I can't sell them. So, and if it makes you feel any better, I had to rebuy this trailer because the mod for some reason wasn't, it was active in my mod browser, but it wasn't showing up in the game because it had like an update, I guess. So for some reason it was like bugged and it wasn't showing up. So I had to go back out to the main menu into the mod browser and disable it and re-enable it. And then when I came back in, I could buy the trailer. So that happens occasionally. That happens a lot in my other mode. I'll lose trucks that I had because the mod updated and I didn't like refresh it, and then I loaded the game without it, and then it deletes the truck because it doesn't have the mod, which is really frustrating. I wish they could find a way to fix that because you end up losing money when that happens. So but we are already at 30 minutes with this clip, so that means we're at like 37 minutes total. So I really only have about 10-15 minutes left. So I don't know that we might be able to get the medium logs done, but we're definitely not going to get any of the long logs done. Back for one more. I'm probably just gonna put 2 on here though so that I can, well, it doesn't really matter because I'd have to drive back over there anyway to get another load, so it isn't gonna make any difference. There's no sense taking just 1 load over there. You don't spend a whole lot of time on Island Lake, so I don't know this map as well as the others. Island Lake just doesn't have a whole lot to do. There's just a bunch of fuel trailers here, and you get the twin steer here, but other than that, there's not a whole lot of jobs. There's a couple tasks. But there's like 1 contract, I think. 1 or 2 contracts. Actually, that's probably not true. I don't know. It just feels like there's not a lot to do on this map. Like, you don't spend a lot of time on this map. This map tends to be like a in between 2 maps that you have to drive through a lot, but you don't have to drive around this map as much. Like, once you unlock all the watchtowers and get all the upgrades, there's just not a whole lot to do on this map. There's a ton of fuel on this map though, so that's nice. I should hit up that fuel trailer when I come back down here. Not where I want. Man, I'm like, again, like I just don't know this map. I swear that's where I came out, but it's not. Yeah, I need to go to this fuel trailer. It's over here. I should honestly pull it down here so that it's closer to the that, because I'm gonna have to go to these medium logs a lot, and having to come up here every time is gonna be annoying. Come on. Because I'm pulling this trailer. It's slow. There we go. Trying to get it to shift so we go a little bit faster here. Is that no, it's a plant. It looked like a fucking, like a shock or like a spring from a suspension. I didn't know they were laying around on the ground. Alright, maybe I spoke too soon about the ease of navigation on this map. Because it's pretty ass. Like, I feel like we didn't have this much trouble the first time we came through here, and now the second drive through is... we're just creeping. Like, why? Yeah, we'll probably get this delivered, and then I'll jump back over into the P16, and we'll do the Smithville Dam long logs first. So that just means I'm gonna drive back to Black River to get those, and then we'll go to Drummond Island and get the other ones that we need. Come on. I'm gonna start getting really frustrated again because we're just getting stuck on things for no reason. Man, this path is just terrible now. It wasn't this bad the first time we went down it. Now it's just awful. I'm going so slow. go. Let's go. Oh my god. No, 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 no. Oh my god. Holy shit. I looked away for a second. Oh my god. That could have been a disaster. I would have been so mad. Let's go check this out. I think it needs fuel. Actually, it doesn't. Okay. Well, I'm just going to drive this back as far as we can get, and then... Which actually, I don't really have a whole lot of time, because I remember I have that... I gotta add that clip, because we're at 50 minutes, so I am going to have to end this. Just realized that. But yeah, we'll pick up in the next episode with these long logs. We're going to go to Black River first and get these Norton's house done. Because Norton's house is over here. So then we'll just come back down here, and maybe we'll try to go across this way and go up that. But probably not, because that's a terrible idea. So we'll just go back across and take the long way. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you like it. Subscribe if you want to. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Have a good one.